Hi everyone, I'm Josh and welcome to Josh Wright Piano TV. Today I have a small tip about voicing chords or octaves. I was recently teaching one of my students the beautiful Rachmaninoff piece, Lilacs, Opus 21, number 5. And about, 10 bars down, there's this passage where you really want that top line to come out. And I've done so many voicing videos, basically voicing, bringing out one voice so the accompanying notes aren't as loud. But I had just a little thought that I shared with this student because she knows all of my voicing tips. So my voicing tips that I usually say are, play staccato on the bottom notes and piano, and then forte and legato on top. That's like the best voicing exercise I've ever learned. I learned it when I was 9 from Susan Duelmeyer, and I still use it to this day. It's amazing. But a few other thoughts that have helped students. One of them, I don't know how much this works. I heard this from one of my colleagues. It works for some students. It just kind of unlocks something in their brain. But physically, I don't think this is actually what's happening always. Think of one finger protruding a little bit lower than the others. The reason that's not the best advice is you can get really shallow playing on the other ones, but if that unlocks it for you, great. Another one that one of my students taught me, he said, what if I thought of my top finger being made of metal and the bottom being made of rubber or feathers or something very light? And that works really well as well. So but there's just one little movement that really helped this girl that I've been teaching, and that was to think of going, because sometimes when we're voicing like a really close chord, like I'll almost have my students like tilt their hand and feel like, okay, like drop more weight into that top note. But she has really small hands, and even I have large hands, and still, you can't really tilt when you're doing an octave very effectively. It just isn't comfortable. You're going to end up coming off that thumb. So I said, rather than thinking of tilting your hand, because she's like, I keep getting ghost notes if I think that way, I thought, what if you think of playing in and diagonally up that way? So think of going diagonally up the keyboard that way, so in and up. Now, I think that for the most part, piano playing should be taking the keys, but here, where she needed extra sound on those tops, that completely unlocked it for her. So, diagonal, up and in. So, I'm not really sliding in, my wrist is coming up and in, and my hand feels like it's moving diagonally. So I go down and in, down and up. That's so contradictory. But it's like as I go down, I then thrust my hand forward and diagonally up. And voicing is a concept you're going to need for every single piece. So if that helps unlock it for you, great. This video was worth it. If not, keep with that first voicing exercise that I gave at the beginning of this video that I've, known since I was very young and taught a million different times in these videos. But I hope that gives you some help, especially if you have small hands and you're playing more stretched out things and you need to voice that top octave. Leaning doesn't work. Sometimes, like if you're playing Rock 2 and you want to bring out that top a little bit, thinking in and diagonal that way, that can help to bring things out a little bit more naturally without having to contort your hand or think of these complex voicing methods in real time. just that little bit of lean should help. If any of you have any questions, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. I try to answer as many of those emails as I can. Please forgive me if I'm not able to get to all of them, as I get like thousands each month, but I do my best to try to keep up with those. I'll leave a few links in the description below. One of them is for a free webinar containing 10 of my favorite tips to help take your playing to that next level. 2 links for my paid courses, which go even deeper than this channel goes over. And finally, a link for all the gear that I use in this studio to record my videos. If you wouldn't mind liking this video, sharing it, or subscribing to the channel if you find these videos helpful, that definitely helps the channel to grow. I'm very appreciative of that. Have a great week. Good luck in your practice sessions.